Let's talk about the three most dangerous restaurant meals in the world. Now, I know people will probably disagree. There's worse foods out there, but these are pretty bad and they're very dangerous. So let's start with number one, and I'm not going to mention the restaurant name. You can figure this out pretty easily. Okay, the first one, pancakes, hash browns, orange juice, and sausage. Okay, for some of you that might not know, when you combine sugar with a protein or this much refined carbohydrate with protein, or even this much carbohydrate with fat, and it's heated, you're going to get a condition called glycation. Now, what is glycation? Glycation is a condition where you bind either fat to carb or protein to carb. And when you consume this, you literally clog up your arteries. It messes with your brain. It gets lodged into the cells. And these proteins are damaged, so they're non-functional. So they really get in the way of normal function in your body. All right, let's start with the pancakes. Now, the recipe for these pancakes that this restaurant makes, they have to make them taste really good. So they're going to definitely put all sorts of things in it to make it taste better. Definitely modified food starch, which is monosodium glutamate. It's not just wheat flour. They put soy flour, which is really hard on the gut. Of course, you have the gluten. And then you have this refined carbohydrate that's really high on the glycemic index. So it's going to spike your blood sugar right away. And of course, they add more food starch to this. And then you have hydrogenated soy, which is trans fats, which is kind of like a plastic food that's just going to clog everything up. And of course, they do have vitamins, though. They're fortified with iron, which is going to sit in your stomach like lead. Okay, you're going to feel very bloated when you consume this. And I mean, I don't understand how people could even eat this without completely passing out, but it's not just pancakes. They put whipped cream on it. They put all this jelly on it. They put chocolate chips on there. Marshmallows, which actually is a combination of modified food starch and high fructose corn syrup. That would be the worst ingredient on the planet. So that's just the pancakes, okay? Then the hash browns, which is very similar to a French fry, they put cornstarch on there, and they add dextrose, which is a synthetic sugar, and maltodextrin, which is way higher than glucose on the glycemic index. And then, of course, you have the potato, and you cook all this and you fry it in vegetable oil, which is really not vegetable oil, it's grain oil, GMO, glyphosate. So you're going to have a product that's so tasty, but very, very deadly for your arteries, because you're just going to spike the sugar and cause the pancreas to have whiplash. And then we have juice, which is orange juice, which actually has no vitamins because it's pasteurized. There's no more vitamin C in there. So you're just drinking sugar water. And then on top of that, we're going to have the sausages, right? And it's not just meat. It's really bad processed meat, not organic. And of course, they add sugar and MSG to that meat to make it taste really good. You combine all this together and you eat this, I can't believe anyone would not want to take a serious nap for at least several hours after consuming this. But there are people that can just eat this stuff and somehow get away with it, at least initially. Now, personally, I was not that bad, but I was pretty bad. All right, that's number one. Number two, this is a lunch food. I'm not going to mention the name. You can figure it out. You have the burger, fries, Coke, and a dessert. So, of course, on the burger, you're not just doing the patty, you're doing the bun, right? In the bun, they have mold inhibitors. There's a refined carbohydrates, there's cornstarch. And of course, on the burger, you're going to have maybe some bacon. Maybe you're going to have ketchup, right? High fructose corn syrup. And then you're going to have mustard, which seems to be the only thing that it's not going to be that bad for you, right? So that's actually surprising. They'll have one or two things that won't kill you. And that would probably be like a pickle or mustard, right? And then we have the fries, very similar ingredients to the hash browns. Of course, they use hydrogenated soy, which is trans fats. And then this highly refined potato product, which they're going to deep fry. So they're putting the combination of sugar with potato with all this fat under high heats. This is just wonderful for your arteries. Of course, the Coke that you drink has high fructose corn syrup, so you're going to really spike your insulin and create a lot of liver issues and insulin resistance. And then on top of that, you have to have a dessert, right? I mean, might as well just go completely over the edge. All right, number three, we have the chicken fingers that so many kids consume off the children's menu, which they use highly processed chicken that is not free range, very high in omega-6 fatty acids, highly inflammatory. And of course, they have the breading on there with the chemicals, and then it's all deep fried. So we have the soy oil, the GMO glyphosate crap with the MSG to make it taste good. And it does taste good. Of course, you're not going to feel very good after you consume it. And then we want to, of course, add the mac and cheese. We can't forget the mac and cheese, right? Which is basically highly refined pasta with American cheese, which, by the way, is not even cheese. You can check out my video on that. I put a link down below. So we just add more refined carbs to the refined carbs and the protein. Let's add a Coke to that. Let's add some more high fructose corn syrup and a biscuit, right? And this biscuit is made with cornstarch, a lot of cornstarch. I don't even think they actually put any wheat in it, but there's a lot of cornstarch and corn or soy hydrogenated oils, okay? And of course, that is heated, more glycation. So this is a recipe for disaster for your heart. This is why a lot of children are developing a fatty liver. This is why over 50 to 60 to 70% of the population is going right towards prediabetes and diabetes. This is why the great majority of the population has metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, obesity, dementia, frequent urination, especially at night, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, if you have a more deadly or dangerous meal that you want to share down below, put it down below. I want to check it out. So if you're enjoying my content, which I hope you are, and you're applying this knowledge to your health, and you have a success, I would really appreciate you sharing your success story. So click the link down below to my website where you can upload your success story so you can help inspire others.